Style comparison. These are two fantastic beers by Ayinger, which we will compare side by side today. So Ayinger is not allowed to serve their beer at Oktoberfest. This Festmärzen is sold at their own festival, I think. And the other one, the Kirtabier, is served at some sort of a church festival. So I have tried both of these beers before, but never side by side like this, so I'm intrigued as usual. Usually I'm both hungry and thirsty, but this time I have actually eaten dinner or some sort of very late lunch. And I felt that I wanted something afterwards, like dessert. And these beers, especially this one, will be almost like dessert. I've tried to research how to pronounce these names, and I think I have it, almost at least. So in this beer style, which you call Märzen in the US and the UK, you have the same umlaut as in Swedish, and the A with the two dots is pronounced Ä, and it's pretty much the same in German. So this is supposed to be called Märzen, Festmärzen. And this one I've heard in two different ways, I think. One is almost like an E, so Kirtabier, and one is like the Swedish surname Kurt, pronounced in the southern way, the Scanian way, where they say Kurt, so Kirtabier. But in this video I will say Festmärzen and Kirtabier. And German viewers, please feel free to give feedback. So let's start with the Kirtabier, because that will be the most like a dessert. Now these church festivities seem to be different in different parts of Germany. In Bavaria it takes place in October, after Oktoberfest. But in Sweden we actually get the Kirtabier before the Oktoberfest beers. So this is supposed to be halfway between a Märzen and a Dunkel, a Munich Dunkel. So let's have a sniff. Oh yeah, I'm so ready for dessert. You have figs, sweet nuts, dark, wet, sweet bread. But there is also something herbal, almost spicy. Orange zest as well. Smells delightful. It's so hard not to dig in straight away. But we have to open the Festmärzen first. This has been a favorite ever since I got into Oktoberfest themed beers. And it's one of those beers you compare other beers to as a point of reference. As you can see, a bit of difference in the color, and the Kirtabier fits the description nicely. It's not as dark as a regular Dunkel, but almost there. Let's sniff the Festmärzen. I would say it's drier and nuttier than the Kirtabier. Nuts and rye bread is the dominating flavor, I think, but it still has some sweetness. Yeah, a bit of digestive biscuits in there as well. Something citric, orange. Yeah, it smells amazing as well. You have to respect me for my self-discipline here. Let's actually compare the aroma side by side. Yeah, the Kirtabier is smoother, rounder, a bit sweeter. Both beers have the nuts in them, but they are much more powerful in the Festmärzen, and it's not coated in something sweet in the same way. They are both herbal, but in slightly different ways. It just feels in every way that the Festmärzen will somehow taste more or more powerful or more punchy. So let's start with the Kirtabier. Finally, right? Prost, cheers, skål. This is such a nice style. Ayinger is of course the most famous example, but I've seen that there are many brands making this style, but I'm guessing most of them are only available locally. But the regular Munich Dunkels can almost be a bit too sweet for me. Me, who loves sweet beers. But with the darker ones, I have to be careful. this is not too syrupy, and I love that. So a zesty start, you have a lot of bread crust, sweet, mild nuts, and nice herbs in the finish. This is fantastic, and right now it's perfect. I think I have to do this more often. Have dinner first, and then after an hour you can have a beer. You don't have to be hungry to try beer. There is almost no bitterness, but a bit of lemon sourness that still makes this beer refreshing. Let's have a sip of water in between. And then try the Festmärzen. Prost, cheers, skål. Oh yeah. It's more herbal. It has a little bit of bitterness. But maybe it wasn't fair to start with the Kirtabier, because now I have a hard time finding the malt base. You have more of kind of lemon orange fruit meat. The nuts are a bit more harsh, and the malt base more in the background. I'm still trying to find it. Yeah, but it is there. Nutty, grainy in some way. More zesty, more sour, even more refreshing. But the malt base is maybe actually more crackery. Dry crackers and white bread. Like a mild walnut bread, if you've ever had one of those. If you have this Festmärzen next to a regular Oktoberfest beer, which is a bit brighter, then the malt base with the nuts will probably be like a surprise. But next to the Kirtabier, it almost disappears. Of course, it's not always you want these more darker flavors. It is a little bit more syrupy, a little bit more figgy, and right now that's perfect for me. I think the lingering aftertaste is also more pleasant. Which beer should I compare the Festmärzen to once again become really impressed? Let me know. This is really good as well. The crackers, the bread, the nuts, they come halfway. Now I also get a bit of digestive biscuits. The finish dies off a little bit quicker, but it's still really pleasant compared to many other beers. Let's see how long the Kirtabier finish lingers. For a very long time. So, of course, both of these beers have their place, and you have to be in the mood for something darker, but I still think my favorite is the Kirtabier. Check out more German beer videos in this playlist. Thank you for watching, and remember, drink responsibly!